Misty Eyez is Crazy Part 2. First of all, let me say that last week I posted a vlog because I was experiencing so many thoughts and so many emotions and so many things were taking place in my life that I was overwhelmed. I wasn't able to process and think about all the things that were happening. And I felt like I was going to explode. And thank God I'm not an alcoholic or a drug addict, because I probably just would have suppressed all those emotions and feelings and just overloaded on alcohol or booze or whatever. But I truly felt that for a minute, and I kept saying I'm in a weird place, because I was overloaded and I didn't know how to process all my thoughts and my feelings. As I've mentioned before, even in my breakup blog, I was recently in a relationship to an amazing guy, and it just did not work. And I truly believe that both of us tried to make it work. And the hardest part was that publicly, we were the perfect couple. Everybody thought that we were the perfect couple. I was the South Florida sweetheart, the Eyez of Florida, and he was a minister or Episcopal priest, and on the outside it was amazing, but we broke up 4.5 months ago due to unique situational circumstances. Like, our lease wasn't up until November 24th. He has not had stability with his employment, and basically when we broke up, there was just a not secure foundation for him. And I'm like, dude, you could totally stay here until our lease is up. Your name is on the lease. Legally, you're totally allowed to be here. And we ended things before we started to hate each other. And we are still friends today, and we were still friends then. And I'm like, you could totally stay here. When the lease is up, then you can move out and blah, blah, blah. So last weekend was the first weekend that he did not stay here at all. Even though we broke up and I did want him to move, I still was subconsciously going through the withdrawals or the change of his absence. His stuff is gone. He's gone. Granted, for the last 5 months we've been apart and broken up, but he was still here. And then all the suppressed thoughts and emotions of a vicious, hateful cunt of a drag queen tried to destroy me as a person, as a drag queen, and get me fired from my first ever, my very own night in a club. When I don't like someone, I don't run around town and tell everyone, "Ooh, see that stupid fucking bitch? Don't like her. She's disgusting. She's this, that. She does this, that." Because the reality is, the more shit you talk about people, the worse you're going to look. The more negative you are talking about other people, the more negative you're going to look. Every time you point a finger at someone and say, they're fat, they're ugly, they're whatever, you still have all those fingers pointing back at you, saying, don't notice that I'm fat, don't notice that I'm ugly. Look at her. She's the one that's fat. So even though in my mind I couldn't stand this person, I didn't think about them. I didn't desire for anyone else to not like them. And when I was confronted, we were on a boat last week, and her best friend used to be one of my friends as well, but is a pathological liar, and nothing that comes out of his mouth is true. Whether it's about him being a doctor from Australia, or being a medical practitioner, or being a nurse, or his parents being doctors and living in the biggest house in South Florida, that when we were friends we'd drive by and he would tell me that he lived there, and he would explain to me the bathtub and the hot tub and how it was in the bedroom, and I'm like, oh, can we go in? He's like, no, the guard dogs are out, or my parents are sleeping. And then I find out later that he lived with his grandparents, because I don't know if he even had parents. And he didn't even have his own room. He slept on a couch. He lived in a very elaborate fantasy land. But anyways, this pathological liar person loves drama. Surprise, the gays like drama. Most of us majored in it in high school or college. Who would have thunk it? He confronted me in the bathroom of this boat with this drag queen, and they're like, you know, you put me in the middle. I don't want to be in the middle of your relationship. I'm like, first of all, nobody put you in the middle. I never said you need to be her friend or my friend. You can't. I don't care if you're my friend. I don't need negative, lying people around me at all. I never said you can't come to my show. They've come to a couple of my shows. They came to my birthday party. I didn't kick them out. I didn't ask them to leave. And I very well could have been like, you know what? It's my birthday party. I don't want them here. This and this. I don't even need to tell them, because that would require me to talk about what they did and why I didn't like them, because I don't care. Let them have fun, because I know that with her watching me, she wishes she didn't do what she did. And that every day I'm not thinking about her, she is thinking of me. And basically, long story short, she confronted me, and after 45 minutes of essentially apologizing, the funny thing is, she started off saying, if I ever did anything to hurt you, please tell me so that I can apologize. And I was like, you don't know what you did? She was like, no, I did this and I did that. And I did that. She listed like 30 things that I totally forgot about, and things that I don't even know if I knew about. She's like, I did this, I did that, I did this, I'm a vicious person, and I don't fight fair, and I'm very evil, and I'm blah, blah, blah. Well, that doesn't make it right, and that doesn't make it better. I told her, look, trust is like a mirror. Once it's broken, you can glue it back together, but you will always see that break. I do not trust you. I will never trust you. We will never be friends. I do not want to hang out with you. I do not want to be seen with you. But we're on this boat, we're working together, I have to introduce you to the audience, and as far as I'm concerned, the audience does not need to know that we don't like each other. Well, that I don't like you, because she was begging for me to be her friend again. But they don't need to know. And so I introduced her in a very nice way. I told the audience that she was one of my elders. She was a show director in this bar before I was. And I also think I did that because I know that the audience, everyone in the audience knew my name and had seen me before and knew me. And I wanted to tell them that she was one of my elders, and she started before me, because where has she been? Nowhere. In fact, I can't think of anywhere right now that has hired her besides this boat cruise party. You know, I do know from random hearing things that she has had a couple drag jobs, but she's gotten fired from every drag job she's had. But you know what? Karma's a bitch. And you put that negative energy out, it's going to come back to you. But anyways, after being forced to deal with this and process these negative, thoughtful things to me, I had blacked it out or avoided it or just not dealt with it and put it in a chapter in a locked box, and I had to deal with it. And then also I met a stripper slash model that went to my same college, and we talked a lot about Jesus and God and, you know, leaving ORU and, you know, preachers that are now gay and Christian singers that are now gay, and it stirred up a lot of thoughts and feelings that I didn't know that I had as well. And then also knowing that I'm starting to have emotions and feelings for this guy that I've never met and I do not know, and I don't want to be the person that runs home and checks her computer to see if somebody's talking to her. And I guess maybe my subconscious mind knew that in the last couple of days there was no communication, so he had moved on, which he did. And I was dealing with a lot, and I was on Operation Overload. And the only thing I could think to do was share with my friends and share with my fans that I was going through some shit. And I got such amazing emails telling me, you know what, Misty, it's nice to know that you're human. it's nice to know that you're not perfect. And it's nice to know that you deal with the same shit that we do. And it's nice to know that you go through the same problems we go through. And the truth is, it's true. You know, granted, I don't like to burden others. I have been giving advice for years, you know, in church ministry and, you know, church camp counseling. And then advice columning for the newspaper or the Buzz magazine, and then through my vlogs. And I don't mind, and I enjoy taking on other people's burdens and problems and helping them process them and work them out. But for some reason, when I'm on overload, it's hard for me to, like, I don't know if it was I couldn't process everything at once, or if I was having a hard time breaking it down into sections. But a friend of mine named Michael, who is actually a psychic massage therapist, and I'm very close with him, and he's, you know, really helped me in a lot of my personal struggling, you know, and he told me, he's like, you know what, your burdens are heavy because they're yours, and you have to carry them. But just as you take on other people's burdens with your, you know, advice and your Ask Misty column, they're not heavy to you because they're not your burdens. It's okay to unload your burdens on other people. But I don't know, like, I just don't want, it's always been that way, you know. Even in college, I didn't like to tell other people my problems. You know, I'm dealing with something right now. You know, waiting tables, I didn't like to tell other waiters, can you help me? I need a basket on, you know, if people walk up to me and say, hey, do you need anything? I'll be like, yeah, basket for 6 on table 12. If people ask me, I could easily say it, but it's hard because I have it all in my brain. I'm going to work it out, and I've got it, like, in a, you know, okay, go by the bakery, pick up cheesecake. Go by the bar, while you're there, grab espresso. Go by the bar and get green tea. Then swing by and get some baskets of bread. You know, get a tray because you're going to grab 2 sodas before you go back to your section. Because you can't go back to your section without their bread, and without their coffee, and without their cheesecake, and without their bar drinks. So, but it was hard for me to envision that I could make a big path and come around. And I just want to say thank you, because I recorded that video, as you guys know, with my Christmas tree and my voice and not my face, because I didn't know what else to do. I was like, oh my God, I have to talk, and I don't know who else to talk to, but I'm just going to talk. So I want to basically do is a follow-up Misty Eyez' crazy video, because I'm not crazy. But I am human, and I deal with the same shit that everyone else deals with. And I'm not perfect. And I do have problems just like everybody else. And I do have emotions and feelings, and I do, you know, start to develop feelings for some guy in another city in Florida, you know, that I guess thought that I didn't have the same feelings back for him because I was so guarded. I'm not jaded. I admit I'm not jaded, but I am very protective, and I do have a barrier around me. You know, and I guess that I had my barrier too high or too sturdy, that he gave up and moved on. And I'm not mad. I'm sad. You know, because it could have been beautiful, and it could have been amazing. But, you know, it is what it is. And I did it to myself, I guess. But, you know, but I just, ultimately, most importantly, I wanted to say thank you. Because when I needed you, you were there for me. And I truly, honestly, deeply appreciate it. And I'm thankful for you. Anyways, this was a thank you video. And it's after Thanksgiving. Who knew? But yeah, the holidays, I guess, are already emotional. Nobody wants to be single, you know, and I'm single. Very single. Not even talking to anybody right now. Anyways. But that's okay. I need time to focus on me. And I'm going to take the same advice I've given many other people. You need to work on yourself. You know, start getting all your cards in a row. Or lining all your ducks in a row, and, you know, getting all your clean house in yourself first before you can invite anyone else in and share that space. You need to, you know, and I do. I know that I do. And I am. And I just want to say thank you again for helping me. So, the conclusion of Misty Eyez is crazy. Anyways, love you. Thank you so much. Truly mean that.